This presentation is on the National Park of the Gates of the Arctic. The information I am presenting is to my friends and family is on the pollution challenges that the Gates of the Arctic National Park is currently facing. This is a map of the Gates of the Arctic National Park. It is located in northern Alaska. It is 8.4 acres in size. The chemical in the waters. The challenge this park is facing is the detrimental amount of pollution to the water and the sea life that lives in the water. The first challenge the water is facing are the oil spills. This picture represents the pollution caused by an oil spill. The oil obviously pollutes the water, and the oil sticks to the animals, causing them to possibly suffocate and to die. The oil spills coat animals such as clams, mussels, oysters, etc., and quickly accumulate toxins which can kill the animals or be passed on the food chain. Here's a video on what oil pollution is doing to the waters. Pesticides and other pollution from agricultural and industrial sources are a continuing concern in the national park. Most of this pollution was caused by regional, agricultural, and industry. But some pollutants have traveled thousands of miles from distant sources in Asia and elsewhere. The biggest concern appears to be pesticides, which can bioaccumulate up the food chain like the oil spills, and were most often linked to regional agricultural activities. Bioaccumulation is the gradual buildup of a chemical over time in an organism. And while one toxic particle in an animal at the bottom of the food chain, such as a phytoplankton, does not cause damage, if a larger fish, say, consumes hundreds of that tiny organism, the fish would end up with 100 of the times of the toxin particles. Agriculture and industry runoff. Car brakes are also adding the pollution issues in Alaska. Each time a driver brakes, copper flakes are falling onto the roadways and being flushed into nearby lakes and rivers. The animals in this water are being exposed to extremely high concentrates of copper, causing death, low reactivity, and deformalities. These are examples of frogs that were exposed to high levels of copper. The frog on the right has 4 legs, and the frog on the left has only one leg. Fixing the pollution challenges. If you got your brake pads replaced lately, you have probably helped improve the water quality. Mechanics are switching to eco-friendly brake pads that have no copper or other harmful metals. 40% of the brake pads out there are already eco-friendly. The eco-friendly brake pads cost about the same as any other brake pads. By 2025, it will be mandatory to have eco-friendly brake pads installed in your vehicles. The top picture is a brake pad with copper and other harmful metals. As you can see the different colors, and in the light, it would reflect back to you. The bottom brake pad has no harmful metals, and the color is black. How to prevent oil spills. The best way to handle oil spills is to prevent them in the first place. Facility managers can prevent oil spills in a variety of ways, most of which involve proper training and education for staff. Properly maintaining equipment and performing routine inspections is another key area for facility professionals to focus on. As equipment breaks down and broken pipes are 2 primary causes of oil spills in a facility. Not only are these good prevention practices, but they should be part of your normal maintenance schedule. Sometimes no amount of preventative or proactive maintenance can prevent oil spills from taking place. A prime example of this is when a particularly strong hurricane hits. In these cases, having a disaster recovery plan that involves proper chemical and oil cleanup and containment is important. The majority of oil spills happen because of an accident that involves an oil tanker, a rig, a pipeline, or a storage facility. The cause of an accident can be a number of issues, including machinery or equipment breaking down, carelessness by employees or handlers, or a natural disaster, such as a hurricane or a typhoon. In most cases, oil spills are caused intentionally by rogue nations at war or an act of terrorism. Oil spills can also be attributed to vandalism, pipeline theft, and oil dumpers seeking to dispose of the crude oil through non-traditional channels. The gate of the Arctic National Park was formed by a drifting plate tectonic from Asia drifted, causing pressure pushing up the Arctic Basin, forming the Brooks Mountain in the gates of the Arctic National Park. During a hard collision, the continent continues to cover for hundreds of miles after the collision. The crust will double in thickness, resulting in hard, igneous, and metamorphic rocks deep in the crust. The bottom left is of the Brooks Mountains.